What's the best approach to um, upselling clients on additional services without like damaging the relationship?
I'd say that it's important to make sure that it sounds like recommendations and not sales pitches.
What should I do when I don't have an immediate solution to a client's problem?
So this is, I think, very common. This is a very common problem, I'd say. But I think the biggest thing here is to not make something up on the spot just because you need to give an answer.
Mhm.
It's okay to let the client know that you are going to need a little bit of time to dig into the problem and then present a solution, because you don't want to just give them something that's not well prepared or not
Mhm.
really accurate. So you want to take the time to understand the problem, go back, look at things when you're not on a call or something, and then get back to them. But and I think most clients will respect this. Like, they'll respect the fact that you're being honest about not knowing something and that you need to go back and check. Um, and also, the most important thing here would be to follow up with your answer, right? You need to be able to give them the response that they're looking for, but just let them know that you need a little bit of time to do so.
Exactly. Yeah. With like not making something up, I think it's okay to to not know everything right now.
Of course.
Yeah. So it doesn't mean that you're like not,
Good at it.
good. Yeah, exactly. And also just sending them a quick response, just like acknowledging their concern, and then you can also say the timeline for
Yeah.
when they should expect it to be resolved, or if not, right, you can at least just like let them
That,
know we'll get back to you or something.
yeah.
Cool. um how can I show leadership in client projects?
This one's easy. So every client that comes to you is looking for your expertise, right? So you don't want to be the one, taking the back seat and waiting for the client to lead you through something. So as the word suggests, leadership, it just means taking ownership of whatever has been handed over to you. So that entails so that includes you uh, giving them a strategy or your recommendations, your suggestions, all of these things that that you might think would work best for this particular project should be suggested to the client right off the bat. And this way the client knows that you know your stuff and that you can be relied on. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Like just giving them a strategy, recommendations, or like opinions on what, just like basically just even opinions on what you think,
Yeah.
um, would they would see you in a, I'm looking for a different term aside from like different light, but they see it differently, right? Not just like someone who does things, but also kind of like more of a leader,
Yeah.
authority. Um, and this then becomes more of a, I would say more of like a collaborative thing, you know,
Yes.
and then you'll be able to gain more trust because of that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
cool. Okay. What's the best approach to um, upselling clients on additional services without like damaging the relationship?
I'd say that it's important to make sure that it sounds like recommendations and not sales pitches. And I think the client would be willing to sign on to things as long as it is beneficial for their business. So highlighting why you want to do this instead of trying to sell something to them is
Mhm.
most essential in this case. So let's say that your Google Ads efforts are good, but you need a third party tool in order to identify what's actually working for you, knowing that there is a whole marketing universe that you cannot see beyond Google Ads. So in that case, highlighting the importance of that would lead to a better result or a response from the client, rather than just trying to sell something to them and say that, okay, I think you should go for this, you should buy this, or sign up to something. So yeah, focus on why it's important to their business and how it can help them reach their goals. That way they'll be, I think, more than happy to sign on.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's just the same with selling selling services to clients. It's the same with selling you how you would sell your services to like a customer, right? Like it's you don't want to be like buy me right away, right? You
Yeah.
want to kind of like in copywriting, this is actually what I use a lot, which is the PASS framework, which is the problem agitation solution framework.
Right.
What happens is you want to bring awareness to the problem first,
Hmm.
and then you talk about the consequences if that problem keeps happening, and then now you can provide the solution.
Right.
Yeah, so that would be the non-sleazy way, yes, to sell additional services.
Yeah.
Okay. Last question. What is the right way to handle difficult clients who do not respect um communication boundaries?
Huh. So I think the biggest thing that I do here is always set expectations right from the beginning, because I know that something clients can, end up expecting your, outside our responses. Obviously, they're free to email you whenever, but they shouldn't be expecting responses from you whenever, right? So they I think if it's not something that's absolutely urgent or necessary, then I'd say feel free to send emails, but don't expect responses from me. But to relay that to the client or to communicate that to the client, I want to let them know that I want to make sure that I'm giving your account and you the most, the as much focus as possible and as much focus as you deserve. So if possible, I think it's best if we keep this conversation during, or rather updates during the working hours, instead of like outside the working hours. That way, I think both the client and I will be able to, be at peace while working on the account. It's not going to be a stressful journey for me.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. Like setting boundaries, because this is funny because this is true. Like we teach people the how they should treat us. Like we train them, right?
Yes.
So if we're responding, like it's not, I mean, it's not like bad to respond right away. But if you're responding in hours you don't want to respond,
Yes.
then they will expect you to be available within that time frame.
That's true.
Yeah. And now you can't be like, can you, like you can't request them um to stop contacting you around those hours because you were the one who started it in the first place.
Yes,
So
I agree. And I think what you said about we sort of drive how the other person talks or communicates with you, that makes absolute sense, because if you are the one who's allowing the client to be able to, expect responses from you, or if you've entertained that in the early days, then there's no turning back from it. Then you can't suddenly say that, okay, now I no longer am going to respond to you from this to this hour. So yeah, it's essential to let them know that I do have a life outside of these working hours. So I want to make sure that everything that is work related is taken care of, 100% taken care of during the working hours. Luckily, I don't have clients that bother me outside working hours, so I'm glad. But I do know that that tends to happen with a lot of people.
yeah, yeah, unfortunately. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Brian.
How do you approach difficult conversations like, recommending budget increases or strategy pivots when current approaches are not working?